Hey, what's going on? Welcome. I'm RJ. This is the Cave. So thank you for joining me here in RJ's Cave, which is quite possibly the most financially challenged guitar-oriented channel in all of YouTube. But if that's true, we're okay with that because that means we just know what it feels like to be budget-minded guitar players. And we're all about supporting budget-minded guitar players here at RJ's Cave, right? Like with this here. This is my solid state stage right 20 watt combo amp. All right. This is exactly the kind of thing you would see a budget minded guitar player using. It's a solid state amp that's a no name brand, so it comes in at the low price point. It's not a tube amp, it's nothing fancy. And it kind of sounds that way too. It's kind of in the middle of the road as far as the sound goes. And as long as I've owned it, and I've owned it now for about 5 years, I even did a review on it way back in the beginning of the channel, way back when. And if you'd really want to see it, I'll put it up here. But, like I said, it's old, so you've been warned. Anyway, the point of all this is that, all the time I've had it, it's always felt like if I could just change the speaker, it would really upgrade this amp, right? And it's possible to do that potentially inexpensively, right? So that's another budget-minded thing, right? For guitar players. Instead of buying a new amp, just upgrade the speaker. If it works out, you save yourself a ton of money. So we're going to do that here. With the limited space inside this cavity, we're going to try and take you inside a little bit and give you an idea what it takes to swap out a speaker. And then we're going to do a sound test, both with the original speaker and then again with the new speaker. Right? And then you get to give me your opinions and I'll give you mine. All right, let's go.
This is about as easy as a speaker swap can get. First, unplug the amp. There are only 4 nuts to remove and 2 wires to disconnect. Red is positive, black is negative. And the speaker shows you which one goes where. So installing the new speaker is as simple as doing everything you just did backwards. The challenge is making sure you pick the right replacement. It needs to be the right size, the right wattage, and have the right ohm rating. The original speaker is 8 inches, rated for 20 watts output and 4 ohms resistance. While the new speaker can be rated for somewhat higher watts, the other specs must be the same. Ours is identical to the original. This combo has space, so installing the new speaker is easy. Just watch for the screws as you line up the mounting holes. If they rip the paper cone, the speaker is garbage. Other, more compact combos require removing the amp section, the amp back, or both, which can be easy and safe to do, but look for a how-to for your amp before starting. Once everything is snug and the wiring is reconnected, the amp is ready to go.
All right, test time. Who's excited? Just me? All right, you guys don't know what you're missing because this test is all about volume output and tonal quality. And to show that to you guys, it's all about consistency. So the microphone and the video camera are going to be 8 feet away from this amplifier at all times while recording the tones, okay? As for those tones, the amp itself, the tonal controls are going to be on 5 o'clock at all times. The guitar, I'm going to be plugging into the amplifier with nothing else in the signal chain. The guitar itself is a 2 humbucker equipped guitar. We will only be using the bridge position humbucker. I'm going to be strumming as evenly as possible to try and produce a consistent volume. And I'm going to be strumming an open E minor chord, and then I'm going to be picking out the individual notes of that open E minor chord. We're going to do this on the clean channel at 50% volume, and then again on the dirty channel at 50% volume and 50% gain. Before we start, do me a favor. If you made it this far, that lets me know that you like the videos. So how about smashing that like button? And while you're doing that, consider subscribing and ringing that notification bell as well, because when you do that, you'll get to know whenever we drop a new video, and we'll get to see you more often, right? So it's kind of a win-win, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, time for the test. Let's do this. So that was the test. We tried to put something together that was both honest and accurate, and if you don't mind, we'd really like to know what you thought. After all, it was our first time, so. Oh, and while you're down there, let me know what you thought about the test itself as far as like the speakers go. Did the original speaker need to be changed at all? Was the new one an improvement? Could you hear a difference? Or maybe you think that this was just a waste of time. Whatever it is, I'd like to hear it. Put it in the comments, all right? Now, personally speaking, for me, this was worth it. I don't have any value left in the amp as far as I'm concerned. Whatever I originally spent on it's long gone, and it's out of sight, out of mind. It's no longer an issue. So for me, this was definitely worth it. Now, if you ask me if this is worth it for somebody else, that's a personal thing. It's also a situational thing. If you ask me if should somebody go out and buy this particular amplifier brand new and go out and buy this particular speaker brand new and make them right away, no, because that's not worth it. For the amount of money you end up spending to get both pieces, you could buy yourself a nice digital 10 to 20 watt bedroom amplifier that's got effects and learning tools all built in. So there's really no point. But if you're someone who has an amp that's lying around and you're wondering if it's worth changing the speaker because you know that's the issue and a new speaker will fix the problem, I say absolutely go for it, because amps these days, they're generally all of reasonably good quality. The big issue tends to be speakers. This is what I've always felt and what brought us here today. And so I don't think you really need to throw out the amplifier for the speaker, because you'll end up spending more to buy a new amplifier to replace it. Right? So just fix the speaker. So if you like this video and you'd like to see more about amps, do me a favor, or do yourself a favor, and click the link up here. All right, that'll take you to our latest review of a 5-watt stage right tube amp. All right, very important these days with all this potential tube amp crisis that's coming. So you definitely want to check that out. And if that's not enough, then definitely consider subscribing, because very soon we're going to be having another video in this series coming out, which is where we compare the stage right 5-watt tube amp to the stage right 20-watt combo amp that we just changed the speaker in today. We'll be comparing the tube amp for volume and tone alongside the stage alongside the stage right solid state amp in both its original form with its original speaker and as it is now with the new speaker. So definitely going to be some interesting results, I think. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one, and I want to thank everybody who's made it this far. I appreciate every single one of you. You guys are awesome. I'm RJ. Until the next one, take care.